Welcome to Spirit Baby Radio. You are about to join a frequency that will open your mind, expand your heart, and activate your spirit. Thank you for joining Kelly Meehan, Spirit Baby Medium and Master Energy Therapist. Kelly believes in the power of the Spirit Baby. She speaks with babies in spirit before life, in the womb, and after life. She supports, teaches, and guides others to tune into the intuitive and mystical parts of life for greater wisdom. Join her in meeting your soul baby and build your connection and relationship with deep love and trust. Welcome to Spirit Baby Radio with your host, Spirit Baby Medium, Kelly.
Welcome to episode 108, March 5th, 2021, an energetic journey of healing fertility into parenthood. How do you support yourself with energy healing? Are you open and receptive to collaboration with energy in body and mind? What does Spirit Baby want to share about it? How do you create an energy practice for fertility? This is my special guest episode. It's Nancy. Hi, Nancy.
Hey.
And I always love, I'm going to introduce her in more depth and detail, and I always talk about how I connect with people. I can't remember the exact moment, but we connected somewhere. So I've seen her work. She's a really beautiful connection of energy, and I know in your Facebook group it was just so present. And where was it? I don't know. But we connected, and we're reconnected. We were just laughing even before. We were just talking a lot about East Coast vibes because we're East Coasters here, and though I'm in California, and just, psychic abilities as children, and a lot of interesting synergy, and I love it. And so I'm going to read. Nancy Weiss is a fertility coach and Reiki master who supports women by guiding them to awaken their spiritual energy to give life to the baby of their dreams. She teaches powerful energy and manifestation techniques, chakra balancing, and blends it all with energy healing and spirit baby communication for profound transformation. Trained as a holistic health coach at the Institute for Integrative Nutrition and applying principles such as the law of attraction in her life, she has been able to see the fruits of success on her own road to conceive and is passionate about helping others do the same. Well, welcome, Nancy. I don't think I could hear her for some reason. Nancy, are you there? Are you muted? Are you unmuted?
I'm not muted. Can you hear me?
Oh, there you are. Yes, I hear you. Thank you. So welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here today. I'm so excited to connect with you again. I'm already having fun, and we haven't even dug in yet. Yeah. So I'm so excited for our call together.
Yeah, I love this. I feel like I don't get to talk to that many people in fertility world, especially in the energetic space. It's such a unique space, right? And I want to hear more about that.
Yeah, I feel like it is. It was such a natural thing for me to do. When I first started out as a fertility coach, I think it was 4 years ago, I was doing more of the, exercise and nutrition and things like that because I was trained as a health coach, and that's kind of where I was, teaching my women. But then on the side, in my own personal life and on my own fertility journey, I was doing all my woo-woo stuff. I was doing energy healing and chakras and spirit baby communication and using my crystals. And then I realized that I needed to come out of the closet and tell everybody what I was doing. And so it was just a natural progression to really move into the energy healing aspect of it. Because, I always say, you can eat all the broccoli you want in the world, but that doesn't mean that you're going to be, healthy in mind, body, and spirit.
So, yeah, I'd love to hear more of what it looks like. And it's true. It's like, you and many others I see, they do come out of the spiritual closets or out of, out to be like, this is who I am. I'm this fertility. But I know your story, too. And maybe we should back it up because your story is really what created you to be of service to others in fertility. Can you share a bit about that and the connection and that development?
Sure. You're talking about my two girls, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, we had done IVF, and it was, I'm going to tell the short story, I guess. Well, we were doing IVF for me and my husband. We didn't meet until we were 39. We didn't get married until we were 40. So, we were kind of on the fast track. because we were older. And we started IVF right away because basically they were saying, hey, there's no other way it's going to happen. And it was, it was early in my, in my journey. And I really couldn't figure out, like, do I want to, just keep trying naturally? Do I want to try IVF? I just felt that, I needed to make my family, create my family. And we were using IVF and it wasn't working for us. But during that journey, I always remained faithful. I just kept thinking about, I was doing my manifestation and I was constantly thinking and doing all my belief practices around creating my family, and always saying, I don't know when and I don't know how I'm going to become a mom, but I know it's going to happen one day. And then I started with Spirit Baby communication, and I started talking to my older daughter, Luna, when we were in the middle of a bunch of failed IVFs. And I just started this communication with her, and she was just so sassy and incredible. And I knew she was out there, which was wonderful to know. We had this wonderful communication. She sent me all different kinds of signs. And I just said, you know what, universe, I'm going to let you deliver to me, however it is, however she decides to come through, whether we do IVF or, whether it happens naturally, whatever happens, I'm open for. And kind of what fell into my lap was embryo adoption. And embryo adoption is when couples do IVF, they may have extra embryos left over, surplus, that they can't use, or, they've had all the children that they are, wanted to create their family. And so they then have extra embryos, and some of them choose to donate them. And so through my clinic, we were able to get 2 embryos. One at first, and then once I was pregnant, I was able to get a second one. But it was just like a magical situation where, it was something, even as a fertility coach for the time that I had been doing it, embryo adoption wasn't something that people were talking about, even other coaches. And so it just kind of popped up, and my husband and I just knew it was the right thing. And, I had been talking to Luna for, I think, 8 months before we even knew about it. And then I just had this, we were incredibly grateful and lucky to get pregnant with her. So, and then 2 years after that, so I had her when I was 42, and I just had my second daughter, Ayla, at the age of 45. So both awesome, both they're biological siblings, and both through embryo adoption.
I love that. You are bringing such a powerful light to like you're right, an area that, I'm not a fertility expert, and I've only dabbled in it in the past 5 years, but I don't know that the deeper things around the process as you do, but I do know that I do hear it more now than maybe I have even years ago. And, I'm sure there is such a different kind of connection that's brought upon, and how you get to create synergy with your body. And I love that you were talking to her. I'd love to hear more about your Spirit Baby communication skills. You think I would know your skills? I mean, I could if I read your energy right now. I'm not going to do that. But I, like the conversation about it, I like to know and connect with other Spirit Baby intuitives, I call them.
Yes.
And that connection, even for yourself, but also for others. I know many that tune in are probably going to be reaching out to you because they want to know, they want to connect. And this is the big global community of Spirit Baby Radio that's built. And so I'd love to hear, your own story and your own maybe validations or things that have come up, or even maybe other people you've experienced, and maybe to happy surprises, or maybe it was like, maybe you knew, I don't know.
Right. I think, so I've been connecting with spirit from a really young age. And just, I want to say I've always been working on my psychic abilities and clairvoyant abilities, though I think younger I was more like, it just happened more naturally. And now I'm able to, turn it on, which is amazing. So that helps me do my work and connect with clients and connect with spirit babies. For me, it kind of, my abilities I want to say they were dormant for a while, which can happen when it's not something that you're paying attention to. And then I started become really working on my spiritualness, if that's a word, and just my beliefs and connection with energy and everything, especially when I said, wait a minute, you know, my fertility is not just about me going and doing IVF and taking this injection and taking maca. There's more to this. I was like, I need to work on my energy. I need to work on my heart chakra. I need to work on, you know, my sacral chakra and bring in the creativity and the, you know, the creation of creating a child and opening my heart and releasing any pain that I have had around my body, you know, because I had issues, you know, years ago. I was born with a septate uterus and I had to have surgery to correct that. So there were things about me that I kind of think always felt in some ways like that I was broken. And I needed to work on that energetically, saying, you know what? I'm not broken. Like, I am not broken. I'm meant to be a mom. My body is, I used to always tell myself, my body is able and capable and ready to be pregnant. I was just always really learned how to prep myself. And once you do that, you're really changing the energy in your body then too, because our brains are so, so powerful, you know. So I really started practicing that and doing that. And then I said, wait a minute, hello, why aren't I like talking to Spirit Baby? And I think I got a hold of, I think it was Spirit Babies. It might have been you, Kelly, that I saw and said, oh, okay, yeah, Spirit Babies is a thing. Okay, well, let me just connect and see who's out there. And I just sat there and I would do, you know, I had my daily, I always did daily meditations. So I was always taking at least 15, sometimes 10 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes of sitting quietly, connecting, you know, doing a body scan, a chakra scan, using some crystals, and then just really making the intent to connect. And when I say connect, it doesn't have to be where you're forcing it, where you're like, baby, where are you? Okay, I'm here. Like, how come you're not answering me? But just kind of like sitting back and waiting for the voice, waiting for the pictures in my mind. So I'm clairvoyant. So for me, I see a lot of, I'm also claircognizant, so things I just know. And then there's also clairvoyancy where I see pictures or symbols or little movies in my mind. And I started connecting, and that's how I saw her. I saw her as pretty much as a 3-year-old girl, which is what she is today. I saw her with her hands on her hips, being so sassy. She was so sassy on the other side. Just the way she spoke, just the things the sense that I would get from her. And I'm trying to remember if I could remember the conversations, but a lot has happened in the last 3 years. But I remember her one day yelling at me. She was like, my middle name is Grace. And I was like, holy crap, okay. You got it, kid. And what was funny is I was like, are you sure you want Luna Grace Weiss? I was like, that's not as pretty on the doesn't roll off the tongue. But she was like, my name is Grace. And I was like, okay, all right, I guess so. And one day I'm out shopping for the baby shower, and I needed a cake plate. And this is just funny because I like to tell the women, you know, you pay attention.
Uh-oh, you disappeared again. Maybe it's the signal.
Are you there? Can you hear me?
Oh, there you are. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm so sorry. I'm not sure what's going on here, but it's still Mercury retrograde.
Ah, there we go.
Where did I leave off? Where is the last thing you heard?
Yeah, it just like disappeared. But you were talking about your daughter, just that connection, I think. Now I'm like, now you're getting me into Mercury retrograde. My head's starting to...
Yes. So I realized, you know, she was telling me that her middle name was Grace. And I was like, yeah, I'm not really too sure about this, you know, about that middle name. Like, it, you know, and I'm out there shopping for our baby shower. I needed a cake plate. And I'm shopping for this cake plate, and I find the cake plate in the middle of like Home Goods, in the middle of behind pillows, not where a cake plate is supposed to be. And I'm like, where the hell did this cake plate come from? It's got the color gray on it, which was one of the colors for the baby shower. And then I look at the top of the cake plate, and there's a sticker on it, and it says Grace. And I'm just like, all right, kid, you got me. Fine.
Aww.
Your middle name is Grace. So
I love that.
It was so cool. I'll never forget it. And I still have the plate, and I refuse to take the sticker off of it.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I love how you talk about, which I feel like is good, and those that are tuning in and connecting, is when you're in conception, in pregnancy, how you're seeing and connecting with the spirit is, it comes at different ways. Like you see a 3-year-old, or, you know, some people see a 5-year-old or an 8-year-old, and sometimes you do get to see what they look like. And more than anything, I do promote people to feel into their personality, right? Because it's okay, because people are so hard on themselves. Like, it's okay if you don't see the right look, and then your baby's born like, wait, that's not what I thought they looked like, and then we get all insecure. I know with my son, my firstborn in pregnancy, he just would not be quiet. I was like, wow, I'm like really, and I was experimenting. There was not a lot of distraction. And I would always see him as a really dark, thick hair and really deep blue eyes, which seemed unrealistic because nobody has blue eyes. And my husband is half Filipino, so it's very brown skin, brown eyes, black hair. So the hair made sense. And then when he was born, he had so much hair. It was like ridiculous, actually. I was like, what the heck is all this hair? And he had these really crystal blue eyes, and everybody was very surprised. They're like, oh, now they're green. They've turned green. My children go, you know, they're born with blue eyes, but they start turning. And so now my older one is green. My little one is, we just noticed the other day, my husband pointed out that it's more green. And I tell my husband, who's very strong in his features, that my kids look a lot like me. I'm sorry. I'm like, my genes are like, I have the hazel eyes and the lighter skin, and they just took that on. But yeah, when you're connecting into spirit world, you never know like what you're getting and receiving. And so
right. And there's a lot of interpretation, you know, that's how you're interpreting, or that's how they're deciding to show themselves to you at that time. But those things change. Things can change on the other side, I feel, quickly sometimes. Like they did with my second daughter, you know, it was very different with her. And actually it wasn't her at first. It was a boy. His name was Nico. And I was talking to him for 6 or more months, you know, while we knew we were going to have a second baby, because we had the one more embryo left. But we didn't know if it was male or female. And, you know, I had just connected with a boy, and he was very talkative. And he started even coming to my husband, who is a non-spiritual person, like no spiritualness at all. He is like, you know, Excel spreadsheets, and that's it. You know, that's how his brain works.
Yeah.
And he even said to me, he was like, yeah, I saw this today, or I saw a song where the name came up. And I'm like, yeah. And all of a sudden, I think it was a couple of weeks before our embryo transfer, Nico disappeared. And I was so scared. Even though I've been doing this work for 3 years or however long it's been, I was nervous. I was like, oh my goodness, this is what I do for other people, you know, other women. Yeah. And now all of a sudden my spirit baby's gone. And what does that mean? Does that mean that I'm going to have a miscarriage? Does that mean this transfer is not going to work? Does it mean, you know, the embryo is not going to make it? I went off the deep end with it. Because I just had no more communication. And then all of a sudden, well, we do the transfer and I'm pregnant with a girl. And it totally changed. Like the energy changed, but I did not have conversation with her like I did with Luna. She's super quiet. I'm still trying to figure her out, and she's 1 year old, and I still am trying to figure out. She's a kooky little Aquarius. That's got just her own ways to her. And I'm still really looking forward to connecting with her. Even though she's here, there's still more connection to do with her. But I swear, when I looked into her eyes when she was newborn, and if you see a picture of her when she's newborn with her eyes wide open, I said, this kid knows more than all of us. She's just, I think she's older than all of us. So it was just amazing. But yeah, so that's, you know, just to let the ladies know out there, you know, there's communication can be done in so many different ways. And two, if you you may hear from Spirit Baby as a sign. You may hear it, you may see something. It's just to stay faithful and to trust. I think that's the biggest thing, is to trust. Once you... Still there, Kelly?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Ebbing and flowing. We're good. We got you back.
Yeah.
You said staying in trust, right?
It's so important. Yeah, it's so important, because you don't want, it's easy to give up. You know what I mean? It's easy to say, like, Spirit Baby's not talking to me. I don't, they're probably not out there. But that's not the case, because they all communicate on very different frequencies. Just like people have their own personalities, Spirit Baby has personality too. And it shows. It really shows. When I see my clients' Spirit Babies, I'll see some are very quiet. Some are very, sassy and loud. Some have a brother or sister speak for them. So it's so different. It's so different. And so I just encourage the women out there who might feel discouraged at times, or are just starting to connect, to just keep your mind open and let your intuition flow, and to trust what comes through.
And I feel like you made a really valid point, and it brought me back into my own reflection of, when you're going into the transfer, and then you go into that dark place as you're going, I don't hear anything, what's going on, and all these things start coming around you, and then there's this other energy, and how that's sibling. And the interesting thing is, I laugh a little, because right before you started talking about this boy energy, I actually felt this boy energy in the room. And I went, is that her son? I was like, is she going to have another baby? And then I was like, oh, wait, we're going into his energy now, talking about him.
That's amazing.
Then I was like, I'm not trying to be a spy, but I think because when I listen, I get hypnotic, and then things come. You know how it works.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, wait, let me come back here. I'm not supposed to be going there. But it's just that's where you go. And so one of the other things, you were just talking about was, so I remember for myself, and I think I've shared this, where after my son, I had a lot of healing, a lot of past, ancestry, a lot of stuff coming up to work through, to see, am I opening myself to conception again? And I remember laying outside after this energy healing session, and I saw this woman come to me, but it felt like my daughter. And I was like, this is my child. Does she want to be born? I don't even know. And all of a sudden, I felt like she wasn't coming. And I don't know what it was about her, because I felt like I was always in communication with her before I had my sons. And what I realized was that I had a lot of issues with male energies, and I had fear of having boys, to be honest. And it goes very deep. It's not just the fear of boys. It goes very deep. And what I've learned in the past year, probably, maybe even a year, I've noticed that when there is communication with other people, maybe you've seen that too, that siblings do come to make space for the other boys or girls. And without getting trapped in gender, I tell people now, hey, this boy could be coming. And if they're not in pregnancy especially, I go, but that doesn't mean he's going to be the one that's going to be here. He could be sending a sister, or who knows, his other brother. I said, but so I want people to remain open, because people get we get so locked down on what things need to be like or look like. And so I always tell people there's 3 choices: boy, girl, neutral. I said, you have a choice. If you feel that girl, connect with that girl. You feel that boy, connect with that boy. You don't know, connect to baby being. I use that word, baby being. Or you have a name or something. I go there, because I don't let people use it, that, thing. No, there's something more. There's something happening, as you know, in your own experience, and my experience, and many others' experiences, is really creating awareness of energy with that. But, as we know, it's a practice. And I'm curious, because I want to hear, even from the energetic space. And I haven't said this in quite some time, but some of the women that I am supporting, once in a while, more consistent people is different, but new people are coming and going at times. And some women are like, oh, I really want to expedite it, whatever that means, right? I want to accelerate it. I want to get there. And I said, well, energy work. I tell people, I go, energetic work. I've seen women go one woman go on a 10-year journey, started doing really deeper energetic stuff, and conceived. But it was you have to go into the unknown places where your intellect does not fully belong, to be honest, to really access a journey that long, and to really go in to this next level, because it can be our minds can definitely support us, but they can also, obviously, as we know, sabotage that connection of working with the energetic. And, but, you know, I know you said, so your work, I know you have such a beautiful website too. So, and all these beautiful pictures of you. And so,
thank you.
I want to talk more about the energetic aspect of fertility.
We didn't get to
like, I know, because we could talk about spirit babies for hours.
There's so much to talk about.
There is so much. But what goes on from an energetic perspective? How do you feel and sense or see into that for people? What does that look like? And it's Reiki specifically, or is it like a lot of energy? How does that?
I am a Reiki master, which is a type of energy healing. That's an ancient Japanese technique for energy healing. But then I think I just have, you may go to have an energy healing done from someone, and they may, they place their hands over your body, and you're becoming a vessel of universal white light to pass on to that person, that client. And the one thing I want to let everyone know is that the healer, you may call me an energy healer, but I'm not the one that's healing. I am a conduit. And that's so important to know, that you're the one that is healing yourself. The universe is God, the higher self is the one doing the healing. So just want to put that out there, that I'm not the healer, but just a humble vessel of that beautiful white light. And for me, my sessions I call them like a two-way street. While I am sending this energy healing, I'm receiving psychic, clairvoyant, and intuitive messages on that person. Now, my clients are all over the world, so I'm doing everything while a person is relaxing at home. And I am tapping into, I have a picture of them, I have their full name, and I am tapping into their energy, basically, I would say on a psychic, energetic level, and there I'm tapping into their mind, their body, and their spirit, and things that have happened to them in the past and the present. And so I'm able I'm able to tell, like, what's going on with the heart chakra. Why are you so blocked? Sometimes, especially with women that have had many losses, that's very painful, and that could really affect that heart chakra, but it could really close you down, because now you're thinking, well, if I get pregnant again, I'm just going to have another miscarriage. And you get stuck in that mindset of being that way, where you can't even look at a baby because it's so painful to you. That really starts blocking things up. And my job is to let you know what's going on. So a lot of times my sessions, I don't want to say, people say, oh, I feel attacked. You've heard of people joke around. I feel attacked. I'm calling things out to you, to a client, saying like, what's going on over here? Or what happened when you were 27? And they're like, well, when I was 27, I had an abortion. Or when I was 27, I had there was some sexual abuse. Or when I was 27, I cheated. Or all these different things can come up. Or, when I was 27, I, had these issues with my mom and my dad. And we really start then, the client, if they take my information, they're able to really start to hone in on that and figure out how to heal it themselves by acknowledging it, by forgiving it, by grieving whatever that might be. And just through this energy healing, it's really up to that client to just take the information and work with it, because that's how you then heal. If you just cover things up, you just cover them up, and one day it's just going to explode. So I help kind of work it out easily. And again, then we have the energy healing going. So that's the healing from the universe. So it's this combination of things that help. And that's what I do.
I love it. It feels good. It feels dreamy and like, yes, unload, shift out the energy, get information, insight, and then allowing people to continue to work in their own kind of, energetic practice along their journey.
Yes, and I know I just mentioned things that were pretty intense, what I just mentioned, but there's other things too, like, Are you not being creative enough? So I may feel like a sacral chakra really blocked, and I'm like, do you play music? Are you, supposed to be playing an instrument and you're not? Like, what's going on there? Or you start painting, start doing something. Or I may sense that somebody's really not grounded. Like, I feel like they might feel flighty or floating in clouds all the time and not feeling safe and secure. And I'm like, all right, you know what? Let's get you eating some greens. Let's have you lighting a red candle and grounding yourself every day. Or I may sense a throat chakra, and I'm like, well, what do you have? There's something that you need to say to somebody that you're not saying. Or there's this creativity or communication that you're having difficulty around. What is it? Let's get it out. Let's spit it out. So I'll go through all these different chakras, the solar plexus, and say, you're having a lot of insecurity right now. Here's what you could do to help that. Or why are you having this insecurity? What's going on with your job that's making you feel uncomfortable right now? So that's how I can get even, again, not as serious as those things that I had just mentioned, but just general life stuff that could really just kind of clog up our energy and make it dense. My idea is to really make the body light when I'm done.
I know, I love energy work. I used to do body. I have a massage. My massage table right in front of me here is where my computer lays. And it's and books and oils. It's become a table, but it's actually a massage table. And I used to, a long time ago, many years ago, I had people come, in person here and there. Mm-hmm. And I loved doing the energy work for quite some time. And then something, you kind of listen to your higher self and other spirit energies that are like, you're not supposed to do that anymore. You need to find other people. So I found my own a healer last year, and now I'll put you on the list, Nancy, if you're open to it, I should say, because I need referrals. Because I tell people they need energy work, but then I go, well, now I'm just leaving them to going, well, okay, Kelly, where am I supposed to go? And I'm like, I used to say, well, look in your community, and that's very scary to do that. Who are these people? I don't know. And and then I'm, I'm always trying to build a list of, because I'm going, oh, this person needs energy work 100%. But then I'm like, and then I can't leave them sitting there going, okay, Kelly, what do I do? Because they're, especially empathic women. The empaths of our world here, they love to carry everything all over the place. And I go, well, how can you find your intuition and clarity on your fertility journey if you're covered in everybody else's energy? I could see why you're freaking out. And what to do about that? I said, this is a gift. You're an empath. You have abilities. You have connections. But it doesn't mean, and I get it. You get it. But it's what are you doing then? And especially if somebody's going into IVF, I feel like you want levels of clarity and intuition to make those choices that feel aligned with you, not aligned with somebody else or what you think. It's where's this connection of embodiment? And that practice then becomes, with self-awareness and intuition. And so the energy piece is so valuable. Energy hygiene is what I've heard it called before. Yes. And I feel like if you're honestly, if you're on a fertility journey and it's been year after year and you question things, you need an energy healer. Enough said, what are you doing besides the emotional, psychological, spiritual work? But there's got to be a piece there that then continues to unwind and pull and help restructure the energy really at your own higher self and will. It's not like you said, it's universal. It's not against your consciousness. I think that's where people get scared. Right. And then to build upon that, of course, because in 2020, I remember when pandemic started, oh my gosh, the world was chaotic, right? I started working with an energy healer that I was seeing from time to time. I started seeing her every week. I was like, okay, every week. I needed her, and she saved me. It was amazing. She's gifted like you with the clairvoyance. She went into my biofield, and I was like, oh, this is just what I need. I couldn't find it myself at that time, and still getting energy maintenance, but also experimenting with different ways to continue to release, right, and then to receive whatever new centered energy wants to be expressed.
Right. And it's just, just figuring out too how how to balance the body, you know, of its energy and what's going on. That's important too. So again, you know, I don't like to say like, I'm doing the healing, or if anybody says like, I'm doing the healing, like stay away from that person, you know, because this is about you healing yourself, learning about yourself. I'm just going to call out certain things that you need to work on, you know, and with my New York ways, I'm a little blunt about it sometimes, but, you know, but my women appreciate it. Of course, I deliver everything with so much love, because it's, you know, our fertility women, you know, just such special women, such tender souls that need loving and compassion. And so that's where I just love to, it's the only women that I serve are those going, you know, through fertility or looking to have a baby or having issues. So it's just so close to my heart, you know, because I've been through it myself. And, you know, before my embryo transfers with the girls, I went to another energy healer. You know, I'm not like too good for energy healing. My God, I just went last week. I went this week for a sound healing, because I was like, you really need to set me straight. I was like, please, you know, I'm not getting any self-care in, you know, I am a busy mom, and I have my business and my clients, and I love my clients so much. But of course, I put myself on the back burner at times, just like everybody does. And so it's such a great way too. It's a wonderful form of self-care, you know, where you're really serving yourself well by doing it. And it just makes you feel so good. People like afterwards, they were like, oh, I feel so wonderful. I saw beautiful lights or tingles all over my body, or I felt like I was floating. And it's just an awesome thing. And especially because we're across each other in the world, you know, whether you're 5 miles away or 5,000 miles away, it works. It still works. And that's such the beauty of it.
I love that. Yeah, energy is energy, right? There's a whole awareness.
We're all connected.
Yeah, a psychology around that. It's so powerful, and the language of energy, and you get to do that. Yeah, you get to do that anywhere. You don't have to be in the room with a person, but you know, it's fun to be in the room with people. I'm not going to downplay that, because everything is so distant now. But it just shows. It really shows how we are able to energetically continue to be in connection with each other in different ways. And I love everything you're sharing, spirit baby communication, fertility, your own story. And we're coming up to the end now, and I want you to be able to share your website and any sessions or events or workshops or whatever it is that you're doing that you'd also like to share.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you so much. Well, you can find me. My website is www.trusttoconceive.com. You can find me on Instagram at Nancy Weiss Fertility Coach. Right now, you know, I have packages of sessions of 4 or 6 sessions. I'm actually booked out, so I'll be booking in May, which is incredible. I have so many incredible women that I am supporting right now. Now, I used to offer single sessions, but now I did realize that packages of sessions were better, because, you know, it shouldn't be like a one and done. It's really a growth process. And so as we walk through the journey together, I'm able to really support someone as they're going through their sessions, and not just leaving them with like, okay, well, figure out that solar plexus chakra and, talk to you next time. I'm here to support women really one-on-one, and also bringing in manifestation practices and belief practices to just really, really strengthen the fertility journey and the mindset piece, of my goal is to have my women have unwavering faith that they will be a mother one day, someday, somehow. And it's such a wonderful place to be, to get into that mindset where, things can happen where, they may not be the best things that happen, but we know that no matter what, we're going to hold our baby in our arms. And that's my goal for my women, is to just give them that unwavering faith, and then just feeling light and good and just so hopeful for the future.
I love it. You literally answered my next question. I was like, what can we leave people with? Your words. But that's it. That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Nancy, for being here.
Oh, thanks, Kelly. I know I could talk to you for like hours and hours. So I really appreciate being on this show, and I'm so excited for the ladies out there to listen, and I'm always open for any questions or anything. So I'm really grateful for being here with you today.
And thank everybody for joining episode 108, An Energetic Journey of Healing, Fertility, into Parenthood. If you like my podcast, please subscribe, leave reviews, and please check out my book, A Spirit Baby Journal, Sacred Communication, and Spirit Baby Oracle Cards, Answers from Spirit Baby.
This is Spirit Baby Radio. Thank you for joining Kelly in the energy of awareness, love, healing, and soul communication. Please join the next episode at www.soulbabycommunication.com.